Are you tired of feeling like you never have a clear overview of your agency's projects? Imagine if you could glance at a single dashboard and instantly know what needs attention, what's on track, and where the bottlenecks are. In today's video, I'm breaking down the best ClickUp dashboards that will help your agency run at maximum efficiency. Whether you're managing clients, team tasks, or internal growth, these dashboards will give you crystal clear visibility, streamlined communication, and help you make decisions faster. If you're ready to take your agency's efficiency to the next level, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more powerful agency growth tips. Let's dive in. I don't know about you, but I am a very visual learner. I also learn best by example, so I'm super excited to go through this video of the 7 ClickUp dashboards that every agency needs. Now, in one of my previous videos talking about, CEO Suite approved systems, I did go through a handful of these, but this is really compiling them all into one, and I also want to go through which ones are available for purchase. So we're going to start with the CEO dashboard, which is really like an executive level dashboard. But note, these are just some quick visual examples of the type of things you can add. Of course, absolutely make this your own. On top of that, if there are any dashboards that I am going through that you want a deeper dive into, some more granular examples, feel free to drop a comment below and we'll make sure to put it on our radar. All right, with that, let's dive in. So starting with dashboard number 1, this is going to be a CEO dashboard or an executive type of dashboard. What are the things that the executive needs to see to get a pulse check on the business itself? So here we have a few different widgets here as an example. The first one is looking at the company goals. This is linked to our goal tracking template, which is also available in our shop. And this is where the CEO or executive will be able to go in and see the company goals and see the progress of each of them. Who is assigned? This is a marketing initiative. What are the key results, the action items? Are these in progress? Are they behind? How are the overarching goals going for the company? The next thing to the right is going to be financial KPIs and data. So here you'll be able to pull in this information from the sales tracker. So if I actually go into edit mode, I just want to show you what these widgets look like on the inside. So this is pulling in from the yearly goals tracker ClickUp template. It's grouped by status, and then you can choose what key features you want to see on the outside, right? Start date, due date. You can also click into these themselves and see the details of that specific goal. Then for things like revenue, you can click in and you're going to see, okay, this is coming in from the sales tracker folder, where this widget is coming in from the 2024 sales tracker. You could also do a filter where the date created is this year and have this more dynamic. But basically this is summing all of the gross currency field in all of the sales trackers, where this is showing just this year and this is showing just this month. So immediate pulse check on the sales data in the company. Then you can also see sales by month. Obviously, this is a mock example, so I would hope it wouldn't look like this, but you can see that now you'll be able to track the trends and be like, okay, why is this month so much lower than the previous, etc., and get that quick pulse check. And then lastly, you can get some team pulse checks here with tasks by assignee and things that were completed. Here you'll be able to see, is there one person on the team that is very overloaded versus who's really crushing it with completing things. And you can even take this a step further and say maybe you have a larger agency and you don't need to track every single person because maybe you don't know every single person and what they're doing, but instead you want to just track managers as an example. You can always come into here and choose which assignees you want to see or which teams you want to see on this list. So maybe you just have your project management team or your executive team. You can really drill down into this as far as you want to. So those are some quick examples, and I hope that helps showing you how you can get a quick pulse check as an executive on the most key pieces of information within your agency. With that, let's move on to just drilling into the financial data. So this is one of my absolute favorite dashboards and templates you ever created. Something that I love doing not only for our company, but also the different companies that we work with, is when someone says, I would love XYZ. Here's an issue we're struggling with. My ideal scenario is ABC. And so that's how this template came to life. It was earlier on in my business, and I've had a bookkeeper for a long time, but I was like, I don't really want to wait until the end of every month or even on a weekly basis to know exactly where I'm at, sales-wise, financial-wise. And so I was like, what if I can automate the process of just having my numbers in the click of a button automatically? Hence, the sales tracker was born. So this is actually automated, where we have Zapier automations that are hooked up to every single payment processor we have. And then it will bring in every single sale with the gross and net payment in the month. And then we have this sales dashboard, which will then show us how much we've made this month, this year, all time, by category, by month, by platform, etc. We have some more widgets than this as well, where we even break it down by like year, how much we've made year over year, how much we've made this year by offer. So like, in system school, in ClickUp builds, etc. So you can even get fancier with this, but this is actually a template that we sell in our shop. We sell the template itself, the Zapier templates as well. And finally, we're able to include sales dashboards and dashboards in templates. And so you also can get this sales dashboard with the purchase of the sales tracker. So I'll make sure to link that below. But as you can see, super powerful dashboard in getting your financial data in real time. Let's move on to the next dashboard, which is the COO or project manager dashboard. So now note, this can be for the company as a whole, or this can be, related to a specific project or project type, maybe like client projects or design projects, etc. So I want to show you the different things you could do on here. And then again, feel free to make this your own. So here you want to definitely have a good pulse check, not only on projects themselves, but also team members, time tracking, and then even things like, KPIs for things that you're managing. So here you can see this task by assignee. Now again, this is where if every manager has their own dashboard, you're going to want this to be specific to your team. So if you drill into these different things, you're going to want to say, okay, for task by assignee, I just want to see these specific assignees. For overdue tasks, I just want to see the people that I'm responsible for. So those are things to take into account when you're creating these management dashboards. Then you can see we have a portfolio widget here, where on the inside you can see this is portfolio. It's coming in from specific lists. So here you can say, okay, add all of the lists in the operations space or all of the lists in the client folders, etc. And then you'll get that pulse check. We like to actually color code our lists by status. You can even see, okay, like in progress, support phase, etc. What are the, done tasks, what's overdue, when does this project start and end, etc. Also, you can see when you add the card, all of the different amazing things that you can go through and see within dashboard widgets. I hope this video gives you just a little bit more context and visuals of what's possible, but you can really build these out to be amazing. So then we have billable report. So here is just a time tracking report that's, you could do this year, this month, etc. And then you can choose, do you want to show billable, non-billable, or both? Are you including subtasks, etc.? And that is the overview of a basic COO or manager dashboard. You're getting a pulse check on your team, you're getting a pulse check on your projects. And I actually forgot one last thing, which is the average email open rate. So if you have specific KPIs, I'm actually going to show you the email KPIs dashboard. Instead of having to go to that dashboard itself, are there any specific KPIs that you are working on or overseeing that you want to have those updated in real time on your dashboard? So here in the settings, you can see this is coming in from email marketing. We're showing the open rate and we're showing the average. You also want to make sure you're including closed here. That is a pro tip that if you create a dashboard and you're like, hold on, this is not showing me the information that I want to see, it typically comes down to including subtasks and including closed. Because for example, I wouldn't be able to see the average open rate. This would literally say 0 because I'm not tracking the open rate until that email is actually sent and closed out. So that's the walkthrough, COO Manager Dashboard. Let's move on to dashboard number 4, which is a client dashboard. Now I also have an entire YouTube video on building a client dashboard, but let's walk through it together. So on a client dashboard, note that right now dashboards are not available via like a public link. You will have to add a client as a guest. Now, good thing about this is view-only guests are always free. You have free unlimited. But your client will have to create a password and log in. So that sometimes is a barrier for people, but just wanted to note that. But it could also be a really great way to have one central hub where you're communicating with your client. So on here, you could see, having a branded banner is something really nice. This is just like a text block widget. You can have a welcome message going through the dashboard and getting started. Also have a written welcome message where this is a video. Then things like your contact info, important documents and links, a place to chat with the client. So also here is establishing boundaries, right? So from the beginning, you're being like, here are my working hours. Here's how to contact us. Here's our response time. Here's all the things that you need to know. And you're establishing that from the very beginning. And then you can have a place to note the project deliverables. Again, boundaries, avoiding scope creep as much as possible. And then having access to a project timeline. Now, something I wanted to mention with the project timeline is you can add a task list widget here and put the client project in. But a couple things here. If you want to collaborate with the client on their list, having them review things, leave comments, etc., that's the way to go. But they will need access to not only this dashboard, but to that list as well, because if they don't have access to the list, they won't be able to see anything in that widget. Whereas if you do not want them to have access to be able to click into things and edit and comment, etc., I do have a hack for this, which is actually embedding a public link on their dashboard. So let me quickly show you what that looks like. So here we are in the client project itself, where we created a client view and then filtered out just the information we want them to see, right? So we hid some columns. You can even filter this if you have a task that says a tag that says internal, that you could filter those tasks out. And then if you right click on the view, click on sharing and permissions, toggle on this share link with anyone, and copy this public link. If I navigate back to the dashboard, you'll see that this card is actually an embed widget. And if I click into here, I can paste any URL or code and embed it directly into the dashboard, just like this. So I hope that little hack is helpful for you. You can add so many things to the client dashboard, but this is a really great place to start by not only keeping your client in the loop, also having a place to be able to communicate with them, and then establishing those clear boundaries while totally impressing them with your organization, by the way. So now let's move on to our 5th dashboard, which is an HR dashboard. So here you can see just some quick examples of things that you can add to an HR dashboard. So if you are going through a hiring process, whether it's for multiple roles or one role, you can add a task list widget for that hiring process, whether it's for all the roles or just drilling into one. So if I come into here, you can see this is coming from our hiring template. Again, this is available in our shop. And now you're going to be able to see where every single candidate is along the process. So we have some new applications submitted, who do we have interviews with, etc. And then you could choose what things you want to see on the outside too. Here I just put resume and rating. But when you click into the task, this is one of the beautiful things about dashboards, is you go right to that candidate portal. So seeing all of their responses, you can just get that pulse check on, are the applications rolling in, and being able to go through them and see where they're at in the process. The next widget is the company calendar widget. So this is actually embedding our company calendar and out of office tracker. This is actually a free template that we provide, so I'll make sure to link that in the description. And this will allow you to see any upcoming holidays. Obviously, there are some overdue ones because this is our template, but you can see, just getting that pulse check. And then also if you offer holidays for like other international holidays, if you have an international team, you can put those in here as well, which is why I have US holiday as a tag. So that's the company calendar and out of office. Then you can see total PTO days approved. And if I click into this, you can see they're grouped by the person. So you can see how many people have taken their PTO and how many days they have used each for the year. Also note on this template, the company calendar and out of office, we also have a dashboard that's called like company PTO dashboard, which drills down into this even further. So you can even add those widgets to the HR dashboard or have it separate, even have a link to that dashboard. But check out that template. It's really awesome. And you can see more things where you could see like a chart of how many PTO days each person has taken. And then also like how many sick days, etc. The next thing is bookmarks. This is a new widget that ClickUp has added recently that I am obsessed with. So if you see add card, you could see bookmarks, aka new. And here is where you can have just these quick buttons. Here I've put the form links to all of the different form templates that we have. So like an employee expense reimbursement form, contractor payout form, IT request form, bug submission form. And when you click on these, it'll direct you right to that specific form. So either you can fill these out, or if an employee is asking for that specific form, you always have the link to give them. Now, I didn't put this in this video, but another really great dashboard to have is a sort of like company hub where you can put very similar things. So like, what's the company calendar, the upcoming dates. Here are some bookmarks of things that you should always have access to, and then some key things that you want everyone in the company to always have access to. So if you guys want a separate video on that, I can definitely go through that. But I wanted to mention that as I'm going through this bookmarks, because this is like a really great thing to have not only in HR, but also in a team hub dashboard, and then also on like individual team member dashboards as well. So then let's keep going through. There are two more widgets on the HR dashboard I wanted to go through, which is the team database and time reporting. So time reporting is pretty simple. This is where you'll be able to get a pulse check on, our employees under, over, or just at their hours that they're assigned. And you can track, this monthly, weekly, etc., and then see what they are specifically working on. And then lastly is the team database. So getting that pulse check on, who are the team members, what is their contact information, the department, position, time zone, birthday, if you want to make sure that you're wishing people happy birthday. And then you can click into here and see all of their employee information as well. So having that quick pulse check on your team and any key information is also a great thing to have in the HR dashboard. Okay, we have two more dashboards to go through. So let's go through next the email KPIs dashboard. And so the sixth dashboard you're going to want is just KPI dashboards in general. So you can absolutely, make KPI dashboards for your different marketing initiatives or whatever that item is that you want to track. But we have this email marketing KPI dashboard, which is a great example of a visual to track these metrics. So this is also a new and improved template in our shop that you do get this dashboard template if you do purchase the email marketing list template. So I'm super excited to show you through this. So here you can see on the list itself, you may be wondering how is all this data coming into these dashboards? So in here, you're going to see the workflow, right, of bringing these emails to life from ideation to designing, reviewing, scheduling, being published, etc. So this is where all the information is going to be about that specific email. But then once the email goes to sent or published, then there's going to be a place where you can actually track the open rate, click-through rate, subscribers, unsubscribe, etc. Now note, some pushback we get sometimes is, well, what if my system already does this? Then that's amazing. Keep your reporting in one place. Do not feel like you have to do this manually. Of course, there are certain KPIs that can be tracked automatically, like the sales dashboard that we went through earlier in this video. But there are definitely some things that if it's like ongoing content that can consistently get traction and has a good reporting system, you do not want to implement this. But for email, we like to track this on a monthly basis, have our KPIs dashboard, because there's nothing in ActiveCampaign currently that gives us the data visually like we want to see it. Also, the life cycle of an email is not ongoing, so we can track these metrics and get pretty close to what they're going to be. You know, they may go up by a point or so, but that's not really going to alter our view on if that email performed well or not. So in here, then you're going to be able to track the open rate, click-through rate, subscribers, unsubscribe. You can click into the email itself and you'll see all of the details, the copy, and everything about that email. And then the magic happens when you bring it visual. So here you can see the bar charts that we have for total subscribers, open rates, click-through rates. And again, I can show you like what one of these widgets look like, right? Coming in from email marketing. X-axis is publish date, the last 90 days by days. Y-axis is subscribers. Whereas then you're just going to duplicate this and Y-axis is going to be open rate, click-through rate, etc. But if you want me to drill down and do a whole full tutorial on one of these dashboards, again, do not forget to drop it in the comment below and I'll make sure to add it to my list. So then we have things like calculation widgets, where this is tracking the average open rate from email marketing. And then the filter is that the publish date is the last 90 days. Again, you want to make sure that this is including closed because it would not be able to track them because we're gathering that data after they are moved to completed. Then you can see, okay, that was average, but now we duplicated it and we said we want to know the max open rate. The CTRs, we're just changing this field open rate to click-through rate. And then we have the average and the highest. And then you can even see how many emails, so task count, were sent in the last 90 days, meaning that the publish date is the last 90 days. So maybe even your KPI is, yes, we want to improve our email opens and clicks, but we also want to actually double our output. Then you're able to see those things here as well. And then lastly, you can also see email analytics sent last 90 days, where this is actually showing the subject line, when it was published, and then you can sort it by, okay, this was the highest one. Let me go ahead and open this, shoot right to ActiveCampaign, or click into the email and see if there was a specific reason we think this really outperformed the others. So that's the email KPIs dashboard. And then last but not least, let's go ahead and move on to the team member dashboard. So here in the team member dashboard, you absolutely want to make sure that you are setting your team members up for success. One of the biggest things we hear from our clients is that it's very hard when it comes to team adoption for ClickUp because it could be extremely overwhelming if you're just diving in. And this 100% of the time comes down to how you're setting it up and the things that you're providing for your team members. So make sure that you are giving them one dashboard to see everything that they need to see in one organized place and telling them to bookmark and favorite this tab. So for example, in a team member dashboard, you can have a widget that is just things due today, right? So this is a task list widget. It's coming in from all locations. It's showing subtasks, and the assignee is that specific person, and the due date is today. So now they're able to go through and just see what they have to do in each category, click into it, do their job, mark it as complete until this widget is done. They can also drill in and make this a larger screen. So they can also kind of like minimize those distractions and just go head down into what they need to work on for the day. The next thing is, if you time track within your company, is having a time reporting widget. So not only can you go get a pulse check on their time reporting, but also they can get a pulse check on their time reporting as well, especially if it's a contractor or freelancer and they submit timesheets. This is a great way for them to like take a screenshot of it and be on top of the time that they're tracking. Then we have overdue, so definitely making sure that, again, the assignee is that person and due date is overdue. Them and you are getting that pulse check on, is anything lingering that needs to be taken care of. Then we have due this week. So this is where the filter is the assignee is that person and the due date is this week. And instead of this showing that it's grouping like by the list, this is actually grouped by the due date. So then they could see, okay, here's what's coming up today, tomorrow, etc. And then last but certainly not least is embedding a calendar widget. So just like I showed you how to embed the client view, if you didn't watch that part, make sure you go back to that. There is no calendar widget on dashboards yet, but that did not stop us from embedding a view into our dashboard. Everyone likes to see their tasks different. Everyone works with deadlines different. I personally love seeing my calendar where other people are like, give me a dashboard, give me a list view. I need to sort it by priority. And it really just depends on the team member themselves. So as you can see, this is a good example of what you can put on a team member dashboard. And that concludes the 7 dashboards every agency needs. So I hope this is helpful for you. Again, do not forget, if you want me to drill down into one of these dashboards or you have another use case that you would love to see a dashboard for, don't forget to drop a comment below, and I hope you enjoyed. And that's it. Now you know the top ClickUp dashboards that every agency needs to operate at maximum efficiency. Setting up these dashboards will give you the clarity and control that you need to grow without the overwhelm. If you're ready to optimize your operations and make your agency a well-oiled machine, we'd love to help you. Go ahead and visit desilvalife.com/contact to book a call with us today. With that, thanks so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And feel free to send this video to any other team member or agency owner that could benefit from it. With that, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.